Hi, friends. Like many people around the world, I was saddened at the death of Kris Kristofferson. When I first started to play the guitar, I played many of Kris Kristofferson's songs because the chord structures were quite easy and the lyrics were so brilliant.
He has tasted good and evil in your bedrooms and your bars. He's traded in tomorrow for today, running from his devil's lord and reaching for the stars, and losing all he loved along the way. But if this world keeps right on turning, for the better or the worse, and all he ever gets is older and around, from the rocking of the cradle to the rolling of the hearse, the going up was worth the coming down.
And Kristofferson made songs which kind of reflected his life. He talked about the hard side of life and down and out and alcoholics and Sunday morning coming down and putting on his cleanest dirty shirt and singing songs in the train with Bobby McGee. And it was an incredible life. And it's a daunting prospect to try to do a tribute to such a diverse human being. Kris Kristofferson was a Rhodes Scholar. He was a helicopter pilot. He played football for Oxford University, and he was a very determined individual because he gave up a promising military career and he went and became a janitor at Columbia Records.
He'd come in with a broom or mop in his hand, but he'd come right to the studio or the control room and start sweeping up dust while we were recording. And he slipped his tape to June, and after we left there that night, she said, this guy, Kris Kristofferson, that's working as a janitor, gave me a tape to give to you. So I didn't think anything about it, took it on home.
But when that was unsuccessful, in fact, on one occasion, he took his helicopter and flew it into Johnny Cash's garden, and he gave him the song Sunday Morning Coming Down.
I really listened, because one afternoon he was flying a National Guard helicopter and he landed in my yard. I was taking a nap and June said, some fool has landed a helicopter in our yard. They'd been coming from the lake, from the road, now they're coming from the sky. So I went out, and here comes Kris kind of stumbling out of a National Guard Army helicopter with a beer in one hand and a tape in the other.
Well, I woke up Sunday morning with no way to hold my head that didn't hurt. And the beer I had for breakfast wasn't bad, so I had one more for dessert. Then I fumbled in my closet, threw my clothes and found my cleanest dirty shirt. Then I washed my face and combed my hair, stumbled down the stairs to meet the day.
I smoked my brain the night before on cigarettes and songs that I'd been picking. But I lit my first and watched a small kid cussing at a can that he was kicking. The empty street and caught the Sunday smell of someone frying chicken. Lord, it took me back to something that I lost somehow, somewhere along the way.
On the Sunday morning sidewalk, wishing, Lord, that I was stoned. Something about a Sunday that makes the body feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying half as lonesome calm as the sound of a sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down.
Making the tribute to Chris Christopherson was an incredible experience. He was so diverse, he did so many things, but what really inspired me was where he found the lyrics to these beautiful songs that he wrote. And about 6 years ago, I started to take music seriously, and I've studied some of the great singer-songwriters. Leonard Cohen, probably the best, Bob Dylan, and Chris Christopherson is right up with the best of all time, no doubt about it. And making this tribute, I was able to realize one of my lifelong dreams, and that was to work and collaborate with South Africa's own singer-songwriter Don Clark. When I first heard Don Clark's music about 4 years ago, I realized that he was on a par with Dylan, Christopherson, all the great singer-songwriters. He was absolutely up there with the very best. The problem for Don Clark is that he was in South Africa, and South Africa, in terms of music made by white musicians, is kind of the backwaters. So he never became well known. Had he been in the United States, he would have been a superstar, there's no doubt about it. And even South Africans, very few have heard of Don Clark. I'm JV, one for all for one. Love, life, and peace. Rest in peace, Chris Christopherson.
He was a highwayman with Waylon Jennings, a Wilbury with Tom Petty, A Star Is Born with Barbra Streisand. Willie Nelson was his buddy. He walked the walk with George Harrison. He sang with Bob Dylan. Rita Coolidge was his soulmate. The lyrics were God-given.
God-given. He's a singer, he's a poet, chopper pilot too. He's a walking contradiction, who's searching for the truth. He sings about the highs and lows, the triumph and the hurt, from the rocking of the cradle to the rolling of the herd.
Chris was busted flat in Baton Rouge, waiting for the train. She came into his life, Janis Joplin was her name. She brought with her the drugs and booze, notoriety and the fame. Then she thumbed her diesel down just before it rained.
Just before it rains.
Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing don't mean nothing, but it's free. Feeling good was the Lord when Janis sang the blues. Feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me Johnny Cash is home. 'Cause there's something about a Sunday makes a body feel alone. There's nothing short of dying, half as lonesome as the sun on the sleeping city sidewalk, Sunday morning coming down.
Coming down. See him wasted on the pavement, in his jacket and his jeans, wearing yesterday's misfortune like a smile. Chris took his own chances, and he paid his own dues. The Silverton devil came through. He's a singer, he's a poet, chopper pilot too. He's a walking contradiction who's searching for the truth. He sings about the highs and lows, the triumph and the hurt, from the rocking of the cradle to the rolling of the hearse.
Chris, you are gone, but not forgotten. Your legacy will live on. You lived it fast, you lived it hard, and now you are gone. The silver-tongued devil has departed. The pilgrim has been set free. Darby's castle has crumbled forever, and you're gone with Bobby McGee.
With Bobby McGee.